Hi, my name is Chuck Bartholomew, and today we're going to talk about Kismet. Kismet is the visual scripting tool. It's included with the UDK. It's good for level designers or artists who don't have a lot of programming experience to be able to add dynamic elements to their maps without using the Unreal script. What we're going to make today is we're going to make a room with a light that we can turn on and off, and then we'll go from there to a little bit more advanced example. So to start off, I'm going to create a cube. I'm going to make it 1024 by 1024 by 256. I'm working in a subtractive level. So I've got a nice little room here. I'm going to click on the ceiling and I'm going to add a point light to the scene. Hit F4, change its color, yellow color. Now so far I haven't done anything really extraordinary. I am going to right click on this light and convert it to a point light toggleable. This is a light that we can toggle on and off through Kismet. Now that we have a light, we can bring it into Kismet so that we can manipulate it through the scripting in there. So to open up Kismet, we click on the green K icon in the toolbar, and it brings up this window. Go ahead and right click in the window and click New Object Variable using Point Light Toggleable. This creates a new variable reference in Kismet. We can use this to reference our light in our scene and turn it on and off. Now when you add a new node into Kismet, it'll place it wherever you right-clicked to add it. If you don't like where it is, you can always just hold down Control and drag it around wherever you like. Let's talk a little about this toggle action. On the left side here we have turn on, turn off, and toggle. These are the different options we can choose when we activate the toggle action. On the opposite side we have an out. This is where we connect the next action we'd like to perform. Down here on the bottom we have several variable inputs to the action. These allow us to tell the action what variables to use. The target connector is where we connect what we would like to toggle. So go ahead and click and drag from target right to our point light variable. This creates a link and tells the toggle that what we want to toggle is the point light. Now the toggle knows to use this point light, but it won't ever execute because we have not yet connected an event to this toggle action. But before we do that, let's create a trigger in our level. Go ahead and close Kismet now. Right click on the wall of your room, select Add Actor, Add Trigger. A trigger is something we can interact with in our level that creates an event in Kismet. Hit F4 to bring up the object properties and uncheck Hidden so that we can see it while we're testing. Now we have a trigger, we just need to bring it into Kismet. We do this similarly to the way we brought in our point light. Right click in the Kismet window and select New Event using Trigger, Used. This event fires whenever we use the trigger by using the E key. Now you'll notice the event has two different outputs here. One is used and one is unused. Since we want our event to fire when we use the trigger, we will drag from used to the toggle input of the toggle action. Once again, if you don't like the position of your objects in Kismet, you can just control and drag them around. Now that we have an event and an action, we can try out our level. If we walk over to the trigger here and hit the E key, you notice we can turn the light off, but it won't turn back on no matter how many times we click. By default, an event will always fire once. You have to change a property in Kismet to have it fire over and over again. So select the trigger 1 used event and scroll down and find max trigger count. Notice it's set to 1, so this trigger will only ever fire once. If we set it to 0, it will fire an infinite number of times. Now go back in and test the level. Notice that now we can toggle the light on and off as many times as we like. So far this has been a pretty simple example. Let's add a little bit of complexity to the scene now. Go ahead and close Kismet. Create a copy of your light in the scene. I'm going to change the color just so they're a little bit more distinct. And add the second light into Kismet as well. I'm going to assign this light also to the same target variable. If I were to run the level now, these lights would turn on and off in unison. I'm going to add a second toggle action now. And I'm going to assign only one of the lights to this toggle. Now I'm going to add a new event, a level startup event. This event fires when the level begins for the first time. I'm going to have it turn off one of the lights. And now we can try this out. Notice when we came in, the red light turned off. Now if we toggle the light changes from red to yellow. We've only really scratched the surface of what Kismet can do, really. Kismet can be used to trigger matinee to make objects move around the scene. Kismet can be used to spawn bots and to create simple gameplay. That concludes this tutorial. Once again, my name is Chuck Bartholomew, and thank you for watching.